They say be yourself, but that's not the whole story, is it? The thing they don't tell you about being yourself is will be rejected. And my hair is nappy as hell and I need a haircut, which kind of goes into the topic of self-acceptance. It was the biggest thing for me, actually, being a black metal person. I always wanted to have long hair like my friends and headbang, and you know, it just doesn't look as cool when you don't have long hair. You know, and all my friends are white, and I never really fit in with them just because I was black. And it was also a thing that, like, my black friends, I didn't really fit in with them because I was too white. They would always tell me to stop being white, stop pretending I was something that I wasn't. But really, I was being my most legit and authentic self. And that is what they labeled as being white. It took me a long time to accept myself because of that. Even though I was embodying my authentic self, I was not very comfortable physically with myself. I had a lot of identity issues, like from wishing I was white to feeling like I just didn't fit in, and so I do things like, it took me a long time to be comfortable with my hair, which was a big part of if you go back to the first episodes, the first videos of this channel, I didn't shave or anything because I kind of wanted to get myself over the idea of being caught up on the physical image and accept myself the way I was, and for my appearance not to be something that I let be a hindrance to how I showed up on the channel. But that being said, it took me a long time to stop straightening my hair or doing stuff to my hair to try to appear more white. It took me a very long time to start doing Afrocentric kind of stuff to my hair, and I would have never showed up on the internet like this, but hey, I can't help it right now, and I've kind of made a commitment to keep showing up. And since one of the biggest things of my channel is to not be caught up on appearance, that can't be a reason that I don't make this video. But not only is it a thing of self-acceptance, but it's definitely a thing that if you are to be your authentic self, you have to defend yourself in a few ways against what would be, although they tell you to be yourself, the universe, society kind of rewards conformity, but not completely though. Like if you completely change your personality in order to fit in, then you're rejected for being a poser and a sellout. So you can't just conform for the sake of being to fit in, but in certain ways society does want you to conform. Like if you don't like to work a lot of hours, or if you start to draw boundaries around work, you're considered lazy. Or if you start to draw boundaries with, if you're not a person who likes to go out a lot or something like that, or it's hard to draw those boundaries. Be like, I don't like this kind of music, I don't like these kinds of movies. It can be difficult to draw those boundaries for yourself. And that's kind of like part of what it is to be yourself, is to, even under the pressure of society asking you to be someone else, you kind of fight for your sovereignty and your right to be your own individual. And that, it's a thing that, the way society really works, or the way relationships work, is there are things that we have in common with people, and there are things that we don't. And a lot of the times, and I myself am very guilty of this, a lot of the times we like people to completely dissolve their personality into ours. We want people to be like us in every way, and that way, we don't have disagreements about like what movies to watch, what food to order, those kinds of things. But that's really the beauty of relationships, is the way we do come together, and that every different relationship we have, the connection is different. The ways we are the same and the ways we are different contrast from relationship to relationship. And it kind of helps you carve out, even more so, it helps you carve out what your true authentic self is. You find the things you actually align with. And that's the thing, when you are yourself, your true authentic self, you accept that you will be rejected by probably most people. But the people who do accept you will be accepting you for your true self, and not a false persona that you're putting on, or a facade you're trying to create to look better. You will actually attract the people who are actually in resonance with you, instead of forcing yourself to be in resonance with people who aren't, or try to force your conformity. And also, it helps you, in my personal path, it's helped me more so connect with everybody, because once you stop trying to conform or get others to conform to your personality, you more so organically see the ways that you really are alike, and when you start to focus on those things in life, in relationships, instead of trying to make your personality a certain way or make their personality a certain way, you organically find connections that you aren't, putting all the effort into, like showing up as a certain person. It's just you are being your authentic self. They are being their authentic self. Like, I know this friend is lactose intolerant or something, or they're allergic to peanuts, or they don't like seafood. So like, I'm not gonna take them to the sushi place, like. But we both like Italian food, so like, we can both go to Olive Garden together, like, and I can get seafood at Olive Garden, and you can get something that's not seafood, instead of like, well, we're going to a seafood place anyway, and you can just get the fries or something. I don't know. I feel like I've been guilty, and as far as being a very spiritual person, I feel like, especially the whole idea of like, I have a YouTube channel, and the reason I even have a YouTube channel is because, like, I feel like I have so many facts that I want to share with the world, but when it comes to trying to bring all those factoids and all my special interests into a conversation and a relationship, is very difficult to find common ground with a person when, my brain kind of connects everything, and people aren't able to like follow me through, like, I really have to take some effort to make sure when I make these kind of videos that they don't spread out to everything, because sorry boo, sorry baby, because my brain connects everything to everything. And so when it comes to like, especially this topic, it's a thing that I have to really narrow in. Like, for example, like the idea of self-acceptance versus rejection had to be like, I had to stick on that, or because my brain can connect self-acceptance and being yourself to literally everything in the universe. But being one of the ways that I decided to be my authentic self is that, like, maybe I won't be able to say all these kinds of things directly to people I'm in relationships with. So like, the YouTube channel gives me an outlet to, like, I can talk about anything on here, and I can make all my weird connections on here, and there's just different ways to show up as your authentic self, and they naturally and organically attract the people who will be like you. And it may be lonely for a very long time. You may experience a lot of rejection, and you may even experience self-rejection, which is the biggest thing that this is really about. Because if you're not able to accept yourself, you're not going to be able to withstand the scrutiny from society and your friends, and, like your parents and such, forcing you to conform to certain normative behaviors and such. And if you don't love yourself enough to stand on your authenticity and stand up for yourself, then, like drawing boundaries is one of the first things we learn in shadow work and attachment healing, and is very important when it comes to self-love and self-acceptance, that you stand up for yourself, your own inner child. You as a parent, as your inner parent, you take up for your inner child when you feel like they're not being treated fairly, or you feel like they want things to happen in a certain way, or you feel like, they're not able to show up in the way they want to and feel safe. You have to love yourself and appreciate your own sovereignty and accept yourself enough to stand up for yourself against the pressure to become someone else. Anyway, that's all for today. And I'm trying to get more consistent, as you see, if you're following me. So if you enjoyed this so far, please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And as always, stay super mindful. Super mindful. Stay mindful.